Hello, my friends. Today is day 102 of being really true to Neville's teachings. What have I encountered during this period of time? I think that a lot has changed. I have come to the conclusion that it is really, truly all within. Excuse me if there is some other sounds, but I am in the forest right now, walking around and thinking about life, etc. Okay. The biggest challenges that I've had in these 3 months, like a little bit more than 3 months, for like 100 days, has been the division between acting in the 3D and acting from the 4D. So there has been instances and fields where I have truly gone. So how to differentiate between fields? So let me explain what I think, what I refer to in the sector of fields. So in regards to wealth and money, I am completely sold on Neville's idea, because I have really tried everything that I could and couldn't bring myself out of poverty. So I came to the conclusion in this area that truly it's all about states. Okay, so as long as you're in the state of being poor, you cannot move. There cannot be any movement. And two teachers comes to mind. One is, of course, my main teacher, Neville Goddard, and the other is Joe Dispenza. And actually, I have experimented with Joe Dispenza, especially in the field of love, and actually it came to fruition. Actually, love found me. So, but it's not I was seeking for love and got love, but it's not in the person that I wanted, but still it is love. Okay. And so here I was a little bit surprised, awkwardly, but on the other hand, talking about the law and talking about love. So regard to money, in my view, you cannot make a movement in the freedom without having had a movement, an energetic movement in the 4D. And so as long as in my experience, as long as I try to move in the 3D and move, as Dispenza says, matter with matter, clearly I can make, 5%, 10% movement, but it cannot go further than that before a change in consciousness happens. So that's what we have to do. And I have noticed in these 100 days that if I focus on actually being in the state, being loyal, being faithful to the state that I want to inhabit, that I want to be, then I feel great. But if I focus on acting in the 3D, where almost every secular traditions teach us to do, always come short. And that, of course, sucks. But on the other hand, I have found what I was looking for. I'm not yet a master, although I want to be. And as Neville says, that the only thing that is in the way of you, me, all of us being what we want to be is our unwillingness to acknowledge the fact that we already are. Now, here there are a little bit wider and deeper explanations for that. So, in essence, time is not linear. Time does not exist in theory as we understand it, and even matter. Matter, we can feel it, we can touch it, but still, as the mystical wisdom goes, it's not as solid as we think it is, and it's not as non-changeable as we think it is. Okay, so here I see the main reason why we are locked into this place. And if, as Neville says, if we assume by how the 3D looks like, then we're in trouble, because we become slaves of these assumptions. And on the other hand, you can be also the master of your assumptions. So if assumptions create our outer life, and if assumptions change the world outside of ourselves, so the 3D, then clearly, if we become the masters of the assumptions that we create and what we assume about ourselves and the world, then the world will reflect that. It's not instantaneous, although I had some thoughts about what Neville says, that it is stated in scripture that it is not 3 days. Yes, but it's not like 3 days, like 72 hours. Although in the past I believed that 72 hours is enough if we can truly believe that we are what we assume to be. That's the main prerequisite. And having faith, because faith is more than hope. I see hope as a beggar begging, please let it be so, please let it be so. And faith, I see it as it already is so. I have assumed that, and since I have assumed that, it has to come true, because this world is a world of assumptions. And if I assume something to be true, and if you assume something to be true, then it has to come true. Okay, but regarding to how my life changed, so a lot of people ask how our lives changed, and also I like to ask people around how life changed for them. I wanted to ask them, and some people say that it took them 3 to 4 years to actually get everything that they wanted. But in the meantime, in the now, I can say that after 100 days, what has changed is my resolve to go ahead with these teachings. To me, they don't seem far-fetched as maybe it would have seemed in the beginning, but now I see it much more clearly. and the feelings that I have inside myself are actually different. I feel kind of different, and one of the things is that it's not as easy to remain faithful to your assumption and to remain in the feeling where you want to be, what you want to be. So it's not that easy. This is what I have come to conclusion. I have come to some really deeper meditations that I have. I have come to them some way not as clearly defined, but something that is very congruent with who I am. And I have also seen that if you actually use the words of Jesus and that you use them, like for example, I was talking with a friend and I used the word I am, okay? And I said, when I understood who I am, what I am, and the friend asked, okay, who are you? Okay, and I said, actually I said the words of Jesus, I and my Father are one. While my Father being God and universal and unending consciousness. So, I and my Father are one. But my Father is greater than I. Yes, but we are one. And as soon as I said those words, they seemed so natural, so like soulful, like full of soulness, like being full of soul and being so natural to say. And I actually felt like a strong, a never-ending power coming behind me and bringing me forth. So it was actually a very interesting happening. So I could tell you more about that, but let me say that I will share more of this in the future. But other than that, I am very pleased with my inner feelings, with how I feel, with how I perceive the world. I had a lot of challenges. I thought that I have to do something in some areas while not having to do anything in other areas. Okay, not like being lazy or something, but not having to do some logical stuff, some Newtonian ideas, like you have to do A in order to get B. Okay, so that's something that I have completely yielded to in my life. So, and the experience of life is much better. So, until next time, I wish you all the best.